All right, for tonight's homework, I would like you to write everything I'm going to write down for you and then write down the words to show me that you listened. All right, today is about the special cases that I want you to be able to identify on test day on Friday. So again, if I show you a graph that's intersecting in one place, I show you a graph that has two parallel lines, so try to just sketch these, doesn't have to be perfect. Or in its graph with overlapping lines, just sketch this, doesn't have to be perfect. You need to know that intersecting lines, one solution system. I could tell because they meet in one place. If I was just looking at equations, I could tell this set of equations is a one solution without looking at a graph because the numbers in front of x are different slopes, automatic one solution. First word, of course, is blue. If I have parallel lines, never will meet, no solution. If I was looking at equations just themselves without the graph, equations with the same slope in front of x, but different y-intercept numbers. And again, these do not match, they're just examples. Same slope, different y-intercept numbers, parallel lines. If I have overlapping lines, infinite solutions, many solutions. If I was looking at just equations themselves, that would be two identical equations. And again, if you're looking for it in words, I'm looking for, you could tell it's one solution if the graphs meet in one place, or if the lines or the equations have different slope. Automatic, one solution. Intersecting lines, one solution. Writing the equation, solve for y, different slope numbers, different slopes, different solution, one solution. If lines are parallel, no solution. But if you have lines with the same slope but different y-intercepts, parallel. Infinite solutions, overlapping lines, or if you have the same equation all the way around. Of course, what they'll do is have you solve equations for y. They will not just give them to you set up like this. They're going to have you do a little bit of work first. But of course, if they're just graphs, let your eyeball tell you. The second word is red. Okay, for this problem, last one, I'd like you to draw a graph. Write this equation, x plus y equals 4. Or in function notation, x plus f of x, which really is y, equals 4 if you're using function notation. I want you to know that the way this is set up and solving this for y or solving this for f of x, that tells you that this y is the independent variable or the dependent variable. This y is the y-axis. The x number is the independent variable. That number I control. Whatever I plug in for x, it spits out the number for y. I control the x number, the x value, the x-axis. The independent variables, I could plug 1, I could plug in 2, I could plug in 3. When I plug it in, the math spits out the y number, which is dependent on what I plug in. So know that. If I was having you do with functions here, alligator. Same with function notation. This, written as f of x equal negative x plus 4, would be the f of x function is my y-axis, y, or the f of x axis. This would be the x-axis. Or the function is controlled by the number I plug in for x. I plug in 1 for x, it will spit out 3. So now I need you to know these. Again, if I gave you just this is me telling you what the x number is plugged in, and I could use that and figure out what y is. So again, if you see this by itself, this means that's the x value I'm plugging in, bird. And I could use that x value 3 to plug it in and do the math. Of course, that would be 1. So maybe change that. So again, that means this is the x value, the value for x that could be used to plug in and find out what y is. Let's plug in 3 here, -3. That means f of 3 equals 1. So that should be 1. This right here means that this is the y value already. I don't know what I plugged in for x, but I know what the y value is spit out. I could use that to find out what the x number had to be. And then this, of course, should be a 1. Means when I plug in 3 for x into this, I get spit out 1 for y. The last word is yellow. Good luck.